All right, today we're jumping into a pretty radical idea for how we might tackle the climate crisis. It's called the eco-social state. We're going to explore what this vision for the future actually looks like, and maybe more importantly, dig into the huge, often invisible reasons it's so incredibly hard to pull off. So, to really get a feel for what's at stake here, let's start with a little experiment that just perfectly captures the two very different futures we're basically choosing between right now. Okay, so get this. An AI was given this exact prompt. Show me a future where everyone can live a good life, but without totally wrecking the planet. And here's what it came up with. You see solar panels, community gardens, clean rivers. It's this vision of harmony, of balance. It's that beautiful, almost utopian future that I think a lot of us are really hoping for. But then the AI got the same prompt with one critical twist. Imagine that same world, but after 4 degrees of global warming. And the result? Wow. It's chilling. It's this desolate, almost post-apocalyptic landscape. So this brings us right to the heart of the matter. What kind of system could actually get us to that first, hopeful vision and help us avoid this terrifying second one? Well, the source material we're digging into today explores one potential answer, and it involves a complete, fundamental rethinking of what our society and our economy are even for. At its core, this is the eco-social state. It's a society that decides its main goal isn't endless growth anymore. It's collective well-being. It's about accepting a really tough truth, that we can't just consume our way into a better future. And that means we have to radically slash our total use of energy and materials, especially in the wealthier parts of the world. And this slide does a great job of showing how that works, using the donut economy model. Think of it like this. That inner ring is the social foundation. It's the bare minimum everyone needs for a good life. The outer ring is the ecological ceiling. That's the planet's hard limit. Now, the goal isn't to just keep growing outwards forever. Nope. The goal is to get everyone into that safe green space right in the middle. The donut itself. It's about learning to thrive within our planetary boundaries. Okay, so the vision is pretty compelling, right? But how do its supporters suggest we actually, get there? And this is where the puzzle really starts. If the goal is a safe and just world for everyone, why is it so hard to make progress? This is the million-dollar question. We've talked about the what, now we have to get into the why not. Well, the source points to 3 common strategies you'll hear thrown around. First, the welfare approach. Basically, build up the social safety net so people feel secure enough that they don't need constant growth to feel safe. Second, the ideological approach. Win the battle of ideas. Make this vision the new common sense. And third, the prefigurative approach. Create little examples of this future right now, things like co-ops or local economies, to show people that it can actually work. But here's the real kicker. The tough critique from the source material. It argues that these strategies, as good as they sound, might just be, naive. They sound a bit like pipe dreams because they seriously underestimate the deep, powerful forces that keep the current system locked in place. And that brings us right to the core argument of the source material. The real problem isn't a lack of good ideas. It's a much, much deeper problem of legitimacy, of how our society actually keeps itself stable. I mean, think about it. You see this play out all the time, right? A government tries to bring in a pretty modest climate policy, like a new tax on fuel, and there's often this huge public backlash. People feel like their way of life is under attack, and they push back hard to protect what they know. So, to really get why this resistance is so strong, we have to look past all the surface-level political drama. We need a way to understand why our current system is just so sticky, even when a lot of us can see it's heading for a cliff. And this is the big idea from the source, passive legitimation. It's a bit of a mouthful, but the idea is powerful. It suggests our society doesn't just run because we all believe in the story or the ideology. It runs because its deep systems, the economy, the politics, the social structures, are all designed to function and to stabilize themselves. It's like a powerful, invisible current pulling everything along. And this slide just nails the difference. We spend most of our time and energy focused on active legitimation. The stories, the speeches, the political fights. But the real roadblock, that thing that's so hard to change, that's passive legitimation. The deep structures, the system itself. Our growth-based economy has been chugging along and stabilizing itself for centuries. It works in a functional sense, even if the story we tell about it is starting to fall apart. So the crucial takeaway is this. Folks who are advocating for an eco-social state aren't just fighting bad ideas or powerful people. They are up against the deep functional logic of a system that has spent centuries learning how to keep itself going. And that completely reframes the challenge, doesn't it? It's not about convincing people to believe in a new story. It's more like a massive engineering project. It's about figuring out how to build a whole new machine, a new system with its own stabilizing mechanisms, one that can function and thrive without needing to grow forever. Now, the source material doesn't give us an easy answer here, because, frankly, there isn't one. It just leaves us with this final, profound question to chew on. How do you change a system that doesn't actually need your approval to keep running? Changing hearts and minds is one thing, but changing the very machinery of society, that's the real, unanswered challenge we're all facing.